Welcome back. All right, so some news of the day for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday, August the 17th. I am home. All right, so Jeremy Swayman came out yesterday. This is where I find it entertaining. So fans are concerned about Swayman not being signed yet. I think the Bruins are probably concerned, at least on some level, with Swayman not being signed yet. He's not worried. He's like, nah, we'll get it done. The thing is, the pressure's not on the player. The pressure's never on the player. This is why when a player is in a contract year, it may affect their play on the ice, but in the end, they're going to get paid. In the end, players always get paid. So I can understand why Swayman's not concerned, and maybe he is very much confident that he and the Bruins can get a deal done. But the reports are, and Elliot Friedman's reported this, I've seen it elsewhere as well, that they're not close. And my guess is that the Bruins don't want to spend all of their remaining salary cap money, which is about 8.6 million. And Swayman probably looks at 8.6 million and goes, "Yeah, no, that'll probably do. That'll probably be fine." And if they're comparable, is some of the big money goaltending contracts that are out there, I think Swayman can make an argument for at least 8 million a year. So he's confident it's going to get done. The media seems to think that the team and the player are nowhere near close. But again, this can just be one phone call. This can be a phone call either from Swayman's agent, from Swayman himself, or from the team that gets it done. So very often we've seen where we're not sure, and then it gets done. So we'll see. But if the Bruins had to go into this season with Korpisalo as the starter because Swayman's not signed yet, I would imagine Bruins fans would have some concerns. The Columbus Blue Jackets. So Don Waddell asked about the situation and the trading of Line, which has not happened yet, saying that he'll welcome Line back if a trade isn't made. And again, this is the only thing a general manager would say. Now, I have no reason to think Waddell's not 100% sincere in this, but a GM's not going to come out and say, "Well, no, he's done here. If he's not traded, we're going to just hold him out of training camp." He's got a contract. He'll be in training camp. I think the best thing for Line and the Blue Jackets would be if he got off to a really strong start to the season, and then if they're going to trade him, that would make it easier to trade him, and it would make a lot of sense at that point. But yeah, so Line at this stage not traded. It is difficult to trade a contract that's worth that much money. Teams aren't taking on big contracts without asking for a little bit extra thrown in general, and maybe Columbus doesn't want to have to absorb half of that contract's cost. So we'll see what happens, but at this point, Patrick Laine still property of the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Sheldon Keefe was asked about the New Jersey Devils and what his focus is going to be, and he wants to make sure that players don't easily get to their net. So they've improved the goaltending with the addition of Markstrom. Allen there, of course, is the backup too, and he's saying he wants to improve the team defense. Now, I've seen a lot of negativity towards Keefe from his time in Toronto, and I get it. When you're in Toronto, you're gonna, whether it's warranted or not, you're gonna get a lot of negativity online and from people. However, I do think that Sheldon Keefe's ability to keep the goals against down for Toronto via his coaching of the defense is underrated. A lot of people have talked for years about Toronto's defense. Oh, that's not good enough. Their defense sucks. Yada yada yada. However, if you look at the numbers, the goals against everything, Toronto has been pretty good for years now. And I think that speaks a lot to Sheldon Keefe's coaching style. So do not be surprised if New Jersey's allowing fewer shots, probably fewer shots from directly in front of the net, that kind of thing. And suddenly your goaltenders' numbers will get better no matter what when you do that. But now you've improved the goaltending, you're keeping the puck away from their net. I think New Jersey could surprise some people this season with how much better they absolutely could be. I think one thing we forget, because people always say, "Oh, look at last year, look at last year." Well, yeah, but every team starts from zero. So since teams are all starting from zero, last season is one argument to make on where a team was. Doesn't necessarily tell you where that team is currently. So, of course, everybody talking about the Oilers right now, so I'm wearing Oilers garb. Bruce Garriock reporting that the team is looking at trading Cody Ceci and or Brett Kulak. They need cap space. They desperately need cap space. They have until Tuesday to match the offer sheets for Holloway and Broberg. I'm going to say this, and this report goes on to say that teams are not taking on the contracts of Kulak and Ceci without asking for a lot, and it could be first or second round picks for either of those players. And I think that if you're trading a first round pick and Ceci to keep Broberg, that's a steep price to pay to keep Broberg. And I don't think Holloway necessarily is a player that you want to give up a first and CC in order to keep. So, or a second, right? So we'll see what happens there. Let me know, as an Oilers fan watching this, would you rather see them trade out CC and Kulak and you trade out those draft picks as well as need be? Or would you rather see them just let Holloway and or Broberg go and just get back the compensatory draft picks you're going to get from St. Louis and keep things as is? Either way, I do think the Oilers need to create some cap space, and so a trade involving CC and Kulak, one or the other in all likelihood. I don't think they'll trade both, but would a trade involving those players make the most sense? Let me know your thoughts again. Or maybe this team, as it's currently constituted, is good enough, and you let Holloway and Broberg go. But let me know your thoughts. Interesting change of the way that the Carolina Hurricanes do things. So first off, Tulsky takes over as GM. He's known as being very much an analytics guy. And there's been that divide, right, between the pro analytics and the not pro analytics departments of fans and definitely within media, and I think within hockey too. But Tyler Dellow, hired as the assistant general manager. I don't generally get into the assistant general managers, but this is interesting because he was the senior vice president of hockey analytics for the Devils. So what the Carolina Hurricanes have done here is they've doubled down on the analytics department and on running the team from an analytical standpoint. And if they follow through on this, and if they 100% follow the analytics, it'll be fascinating to see how it turns out. Analytics should be able to find, diamonds in the rough. You find players that maybe other teams are undervaluing, and it also tells you which players are overvalued and which players maybe you're looking at on your own team that you say, you know what, we can move these guys because analytically they don't move the needle the way we would like them to. So for Carolina, it could be a very interesting upcoming season. And we'll see what the analytics department, which now kind of runs the team, right? We'll see what these analytics guys do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. I also wanted to follow this up by saying that the play-on games in Surrey are today. I'm not going to be able to go. It took us 5 hours to get home from Seattle. That's after about a 3-hour plane trip. The drive home from Seattle was an absolute nightmare. We'll talk about it on the Entertainment Guy, we being my wife and I. And by the time we got home, we were just absolutely exhausted. And by the time it was all said and done, and by the time we had kind of sort of got some of our stuff put away, it was almost 10 o'clock, and we just went and passed out. So I just do not feel like I would be of any use at all, even less than usual today. If I was to play street hockey, but we would like to go tomorrow. They have the playoffs tomorrow, so I may very well show up tomorrow and see how this all turns out, and see who wins it. So at any rate, if you go today, enjoy yourselves. But I'm not going to be able to make it out there today. I'm also sore from all the walking. I think the most walking we did in one day was about 30. I think it was a little over 20 kilometers. It was almost like 20 or 23 kilometers, something like that. Which if you look at it in miles, it's over 10 miles, and that adds up when you're doing that for 5 days out of 7. It adds up. Makes kind of sore and tired. So kind of have to sleep it off, which I started last night, but I definitely could use some more sleep tonight. So that's the plan. All right. Thank you guys so much, though, for all your support. It means a ton. If I met you while I was down in Anaheim, it was great to meet you. We had a nice, successful meetup when we were down there, and we look forward to doing that again. That is the plan. I did not get the new Ducks jersey. I did see it in person, as was shown in the interview with Duckstream. I'm supposed to be getting that jersey, though, next month, in all likelihood. Production delays are just a thing. They happened with Adidas. They're going to happen with Fanatics as well. It's just part and parcel of jersey collecting now. There's going to be delays. But if you've been holding off on buying an Adidas because of costs, right now is the perfect time to buy Adidas jerseys because everybody has them on sales. On sale, I should say. Everybody wants them out the door. And so, yeah, now is a really good time to get an Adidas jersey if you've not got one already. So thank you guys again for your support. I will talk to you soon enough.